What is up, YouTube? Welcome back. It is your boy Charlie Matthews. Today, I just want to do like a sit down and just tell you a story about 10 years ago on my journey to South Korea. It was actually my first biggest trip out of country, and I was pretty much cultural shock. I did not know what to expect. But just to give you a little education about the Asian market and modeling, so some parts of the country like South Korea and Tokyo, they offered guaranteed contracts. Usually for starters, it's around $10,000. Then you're usually there for 2 months, and then if you return, they'll give you like a higher guaranteed. So since this is my first ever trip and I was a new face into the modeling industry, I went to South Korea for the first time. And this was around towards the end of November. So I actually spent Christmas in Korea. So when I arrived, it's cold as shit. I mean, I think I just had like, one coat coming from LA. We were wearing t-shirts, tank tops almost every day, beautiful weather, but silly me, did not check the weather. So it was pretty cold. It was like close to like sub-zero temperatures. And I believe at that time, it was like one of the worst winters in decades. So when I got there, I got offered a $10,000 guarantee contract. And the contract is kind of tricky, but we will get to it towards the end of the video. But I love the Asia culture, especially like in Korea. I used to eat like sushi every day, and then of course I had some modeling friends there that would just like show me around and stuff. But it was really hard for me because I had a struggle of not booking jobs because a lot of it is like you go to castings and you do see clients for like catalogs, e-commerce and stuff like that. So like the first month I did not book any modeling jobs, and so I had to go back to the agency, and they're like, we had to practice e-com poses every single day, just like get it down. And I was so bad at posing e-com. I think there's like a video somewhere if you go to Charlie Matthews like Vander Models, and my posing is just horrible. Like I was just doing hand in the pocket, I was putting hand on the chest, hand on the other chest, doing that. But overall, like an experience, and when I continued to practice, I got the hang of like e-commerce. So I booked my first modeling job, and literally like I was going through the closet and I found some gems. I have the contract I was with my Korean agency there, and then I found my comp card. And you know what? What's funny about this comp card is they spelled my name wrong. They put a Y instead of an IE. And then I'm not going to show what agent I was with, but that was the background of the images I shot. I can't remember who shot that. I think this was like Ray John Pila, Scott Hoover, Eric something, and I forgot who shot that too. But these images were like, I think almost 11 years ago, because I was still doing like modeling stuff. I never had like an official agency. So these were paper comp cards that we had to take when we go to castings. And the thing is about castings, there's a certain time we meet up, we all get in a van, our agent brings us to the castings locations, because back then there was no Ubers or anything, but there was taxis. But it was kind of difficult since the language barrier is kind of hard to like communicate. So a bunch of models would go into a car, and then we'll just go to castings. We'll have like 6 or 7 castings a day. And check this out, I probably had over 50 castings the first month, and I did not book one job. And then once I started to get the hang of like how it works, as far as getting exposure in front of the camera, I started like get the hang of it. And then I ended up booking my first modeling gig, which is actually got my statement right here. My first modeling gig was Calvin Klein underwear lookbook, and for the full day it's half of the rate as I usually get now. It's not as much. And then the next job was Marcus Cole Underwear, STCO Catalog, Pearly Gates Catalog, Aspen Presentation Show, and then LG cell phone commercial, which is you guys seen on my YouTube channel. And GS Home Shopping Underwear. Oh my God, that underwear is crazy because it's got like this little like to put your like balls in. It's pretty funny. But so for these underwear jobs, especially in Korea, they love pale skin. They don't want you tan. They want you pale. And not to mention, like, I'm a pretty like hairy guy as well. They gave me a one-piece blade, a razor, and for I kid you not, over an hour I had to shave my entire body, including my armpits, my butt, feet, like everything. That took forever. Oh my God, tell me about it. So I had another underwear job the next day, and I had to buy this stuff called Conair, which is it burns off your hair. And it's my first time using it. No way gave me instructions how to use it, so I just read it. I left it on the skin for too long. I believe you're supposed to leave it on for like maybe 5 minutes. And then all of a sudden, I left it on for like 8 minutes, and then I had like a big old rash on the side of my tush. But good thing like the underwear would cover, and I had it for like a month, but eventually it went away. And so, my worst experience, I don't like the cold, but I shot an LG cell phone commercial. The call time was at 7:00 p.m. at night till 4:00 in the morning on a 32-story building wearing a thin piece of H&M t-shirt. We had to shoot 8 scenes, and I just remember having 5 or 6 assistants around me with heaters, and they had one of those like those these bean bags that like warm you up with your hands or whatever. But I ended up catching close to pneumonia. I think I got hyperthermia, and then I got rushed to the hospital. I got really sick. Went there like 5:00 in the morning, I believe, when we wrapped. And yeah, I was sick for like a couple of days and I think that's probably the reason why I was traumatized, because of the cold. But that experience was bad. But however, you remember when I said that I got offered a $10,000 guaranteed contract? Well, when I was looking at my statement, the total gross I made was $9,900 of all the jobs that I booked for those 2 months. So we have to go over the expenses. The expenses was rent, utilities for 2 months, your your book, transportation, retainer, comp card, advance. They give you like pocket money every week just to eat, airfare, and client fee, which is they pay just to meet the client. You have to pay a fee for that. And so overall on that trip, I did not make $10,000 in jobs. So what happens is, if you don't make $10,000 in jobs, they take 50% of your guaranteed, which is $5,000, right? And so overall, the whole expenses of the trip, I made minus $11. I didn't make any money, but just to reflect back on it, it's a good experience. And in the modeling industry, especially if you're on the other side of the world, I also called my agent, I called my mom. I always question myself, modeling wasn't gonna work out, because I literally had no money. I was broke as hell. But I did manage to, save some, money, because I wouldn't go crazy on spending, and just make sure my mom helped me out a little bit. But, I was on the phone with my agent, and I was like, yeah, I just want to go back home. I don't know if this is gonna work out for modeling, because at the time I was freaking out. I was hoping I was gonna get $10,000, because $10,000 was a lot of money for me back then in 2013. But he called me up and said, hey, listen, try a different market one more time. There's this agency in the Philippines called Elite. They would like to have you there for a couple of months for a placement. And we're going to pause it right there because we're going to leave that for another story. But yeah, the overall experience in South Korea, it was good and then it was bad at the same time. But next time if I go to South Korea, I'm well prepared. Just reflecting on everything 10 years ago, it's just crazy how time flies. But I'm gonna end this video here. Thank you guys for watching my YouTube channel. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.